Every being seeks one thing. The reason behind everything. Everything, absolutely everything, is the result of natural movements. Nothing is, therefore, created. Things merely follow the flow of natural movement. One might think, then, that natural movement was created by someone who would be the creator of that movement. However, natural movement obeys something greater. That something can be called law. Law determines movement. Obedience to the law is what makes the movement natural. There is no naturalness without a law. One could say, therefore, that the Creator does not create things directly, he creates the law. The rest is just movement acting according to that law. The law is deterministic, and nothing acts outside of it. No movement is in disagreement with it. Questioning the law that governs everything is a manifestation of ignorance. Knowledge can be summarized as knowing the law, that is, understanding the reason behind everything. Each thing is not created, and therefore, there is no creator, not of the smallest particle, nor of the universe. There is only natural motion, transforming everything, and each thing at every moment. Nothing remains as it once was. Even non-existence changes. Non-existence itself can be transformed into existence through the application of the law that governs natural movement. While the law is not applied, non-existence remains. But once the law comes into action, everything undergoes transformation. And in transforming, it ceases to exist as it was, for it obeys the law of natural movement of transformation. Movement causes that which had form and occupied space to lose that form and cease to occupy that space. Therefore, it no longer exists. In other words, what the being perceives no longer exists, and what it does not perceive may exist. Perception is not an agent of the law, but it is what justifies it and gives it life. Without perception, the law does not exist. Perception arises with the law and is contained within it. Understanding perception is a path to understanding the law. Understanding the law is knowing the reason for each thing, the reason for the universe, and consequently, the whole and the reason for the whole. Non-existence, as long as it is not transformed, exists. When it is transformed, it can be perceived. However, since nothing remains as it was, it ceases to exist, and returns to non-existence. Therefore, nothing exists permanently. Not even non-existence itself seems to exist before the law. The law only exists if it is applied. The law only exists if it produces something. Something only exists if it is perceived. What is perceived is no longer what it was. Therefore, the law creates nothing but natural movement. And natural movement does not exist without the law. Natural movement creates nothing, it merely transforms everything and anything. Natural movement depends on the law. The law, in turn, depends on perception. Perception is present in what is produced by natural movement. What is produced is immediately transformed, thus generating a new perception. The previous perception is replaced by a new one. This new perception sees things differently. It perceives new things. And what is new is, in truth, the old transformed. Each transformation transforms the perception that exists in that which was transformed. It is in this cycle that one understands the concept of the eternal and the infinite. The infinite and the eternal can only be understood through the existence of natural movement and the law that governs it.